everyone. Hope you're all well and doing well wherever you are. I bought these a few weeks ago. Quite a bit of difference between them actually. To try them, and tell you, give you my thoughts about them. What do we have? A Smok RPM and a Voopoo. There you go. A Voopoo Vinci. Beautiful mods. Very nice, but I'm afraid one of them has to be on top. So I pay for this stuff. I try and I tell you my opinion. It's my personal opinion, but having 10 years behind me of vaping, I don't know a thing of two. I'm an MTL user, I'm afraid, so I only do mouth to lung, stuff. Very rare that I would come across, a direct lung, mod. If it can do both, like. I suppose this one can do both. So is the Voopoo, depending on the coils that that you put in there. This Voopoo is a lot more simpler, to use. But let's go and have a look at the close up and get back and tell you all about them and give you my personal opinion. See you in a tick. Here we are with the both of them now. The Smok RPM and the Voopoo Vinci. Here they are. They're you can say they're very much the same, I suppose, but the functionality is completely different as far as I'm concerned. The Voopoo, let's have a look at the Voopoo first. Just to show you it's a lovely screen on it. An LED screen, very bright and quite nice. They're both the same, 1500 battery. The pods are very much on par with each other, capacity wise. I mean, this one is a bit bigger, the 5.5 mil, but they come standard in the UK and Europe with the 2 mil because of the TPD thing. However, you can buy them. You can buy the pods separately now as an accessory with the 5.5, which I do advise because of the 2 mil, finishes so quickly. It's a bit daft. I think I said on another video. I mean, they are identical pods. All they do is they just fill it with some plastic, to make it, to bring it down to the 2 mil. So yeah, that's what it is. Usual stuff. You got the up and down buttons, puff counter, the time of the puff. This is an auto and an auto and a button one, a power one. So 3 clicks, 1 2 3, and you get the auto, which I don't really use at all. It's hardly anything. It will suit more for direct lung because it takes a lot longer puff, so that will force the sensor to activate. But for short puffs, it doesn't work as good. And you can get both of them, auto and power, and then you revert back 1 2 3 and the power. You got the ohms, how much how many ohms is the coil, and the voltage when you press what's in the battery. It's just all I care about really is that 12 volt and how many ohms is when you put the coil in. So very well made. They all come with a sort of a gunmetal frame, and then you get the designs here. So this is the Scarlet one. The drip tip or whatever you call it is debatable. I mean, I like it. Some people like it. Some people don't. So, but you get used to it. I used to like the more of the round ones. But once you use it for a few hours, I wouldn't say a few days, and you get used to it. It's got a really nice track to it, so you can. It's quite enjoyable actually. This one. The Voopoo. I didn't think I would like it, but it grew on me, and I think this is the one that I'm using at the moment. As a daily one. So moving on to the Smok. The Smok, yeah. Very much the same. Nice bright screen. You can change the colors. I mean, the only colors that change are these red ones. So it's the up and the power button. You cycle through. Let's see. There, see, and it goes like this. Has the same thing, lock, unlock, and do all these. I really don't use these things, but well, this one doesn't anything. I think both of them together, you lock the wattage, you can still use it, and that is a good one. and then unlock it. Oops, it's gone up to 34. Yeah, so usually, anything between 15 and 18, 12 to 18. You got your puff counter, you got your USB IQR chip, whatever. This is the green one. It's a matter of taste, really. I personally don't like it, but there you go. It was the last one, that I could get, so to make a review. So yeah, it is a good one. There has to be one winner, I suppose, as far as I'm concerned. Let's have a look at the pods. So I forgot about the pods here. This one is a bit more difficult to pull, but it's nevertheless, it's not bad. The filling is somewhat easier than the fetch. The fetch is just it's just unbelievable. To do it. So yeah, you get two pods with the kit. One is a Nord one. This is the Nord one, and then you get the RPM one, which is marked in red. So you need to pull it a bit hard until it pops, because it's got quite quite a biggish. I don't know whether you can see it there. Yeah, a plug or whatever you call it. So you need, but you have quite a bit of space in here, so to pull it, to push it back in, and it needs quite a bit of force actually. There, no, this one is a hell of a lot easier than the fetch actually to put in. The coil it goes that way, so you have to have these recesses on either end, and all you do, you just pull it, and it pulls. It's quite easy, because you've got quite a bit of space in there, and then you put your new coil, and it goes only one way, and you put it there, and that's what it is. So I'll show you the Voopoo one. The Voopoo one is easier to come at, although it's very it's very well, the magnets are very good, but it's easier. The same thing, very much the same type of things. So again, it's that you need to pull that there, and the plug is is a rectangular one. Nice big hole there for the liquid to go in and the air to escape, same like the RPM one. But then you put it the same way for the coil. There's no recesses or anything. You just pull the coil and just put another one in, and that's it. There is they say is if you twist it 180 degrees, you get a different airflow. I haven't seen any difference. It depends very, very much, in my opinion, on the actual coil and the hole that is in the coil itself. So the wider the center hole in the coil, that's the one for the direct lung, and the tighter it gets. There's 3 coils, only 3 that come with these. There isn't much choice, just as well, because the Smok, they've got so many coils in there. This one is a 0.3, not that particular one, but they come with in a 0.3, 0.8 and 1.2, and there is a big difference between the 3 of them, full stop. No ceramics and no these meshes and all that, but I'll have a proper look and see any of the Voopoo ones are mesh or ceramics, although I very much doubt it, but I'll stand corrected if it is wrong. As opposed to the RPM, they come with a host of coils. I'm confused. So you get ceramic, you got what is it? Obviously you get the mesh, you get the standard, because so many of them, and which have and different powers. So to try, you need to buy the whole lot, to see which one suits you. So yeah, here we are with the close up, and we'll take them in a few seconds, and try them and see and tell you what I think. Right, what have we got now? We got the Voopoo firing at sorry, it's a 0.8 coil. That's the middle one, the middle of the range one, and it's an airy draw as opposed to 0.3, which is a direct to lung one. That's quite airy. What a lovely draw, even though it is an an airy draw, but it's still a restricted direct lung, you could say, but it's quite a nice airy draw on that one, if you like airy draws. I'll change it in a moment to the to 1.2 coil, and that is a big difference, you know, between them. There is an airflow. They say, you know, if you take the pod out and twist it 180 degrees, it should tighten, you know, make it tighter. Let's try. It's a tiny difference, negligible really. There is a tiny difference. What makes the actual difference is changing the coil. So this is the middle one, 0.8, which I, you know, personally I do prefer. If you prefer a tighter draw, then go for the 1.2. They only come with 0.3 and 0.8 in the package, you know, itself. Let's get a tissue and try and take that coil out, and it's, you know, it's quite an easy one. Where is this? That's the 1.2 one that is here. So all you do really is you just pull, and the coil comes out. No liquid comes out, which is a good thing. You slot it in and you push one push. Right, let's put it in there. There it is, and it automatically adjusts the you know, the wattage for you. To be on the safe side, so that as soon as you put it 1.2 in, it will start at 10. You can still increase it, so I think this one will go up to 15 only. Yeah, and then it gets locked. So let's do 15 and see. A much tighter draw on that one, so that will suit somebody that is looking for you know, a tight draw. At 15, you know, it's good. I usually do 13 or 14. But still at 15, you know, it's quite good. You can have the auto, which I did say about it, you know, is the auto draw doesn't do much about it, and, you know, when I reviewed that one, you know, on its own. So let's do an auto on that one. It's 3 clicks actually, so you can see the power there, 1, 2, 3, and it becomes auto. Let's try. Fresh air comes. It needs actually. No, fresh air, nothing happens. So, you know, you need I think you need a direct to lung coil, you know, 0.3, you know, that one will give you the, you know, because there's a lot of air and it will activate the sensor then. But for mouth to lung, no, I wouldn't. You can do both if you like. So I always use it with a button. So that's the Voopoo. The RPM works very much the same thing. There you go. You got the so what do I have in here? 24 and it's 0.9. I think it's a 1 ohm. You know, for you know, for a mouth to lung. It's a variety of coils in there. What pod is in there? This is a Nord pod. You can differentiate them between the you know, the Nord and the RPM coils is by this band there that becomes red in the RPM tank or coil or pod, whatever you want to call it, and the so that's different. It slots in, you know, with a bit more security. You know, you need to really pull it, you know, that it comes out. So it's got a good fitting to that, as opposed to the Voopoo. The Voopoo has got very good magnets. Don't get me wrong, very good magnet. So it's still, but it's easier to come out. So. One thing with the RPM, the Smok RPM unlocked wattage, you can I mean, this the maximum is 40 and is on a 0.9 or 1 ohm. I think you can actually, you know, it can be burnt, I suppose. You know, it will be quite high for it. The Voopoo has a maximum on it. Whether you like it, you know, or not, sometimes, you know, you might want something a bit more than the permitted 15 watts. So, you know, it's a bit of a safety, you know, to preserve the coil. Let's vape on that one and see. Hardly anything. It's 40 watts. I mean, that should, you know, give a cloud of. It's too airy. Look at the slots in here. 1, 2. You can't control that at all. It's just, you know, that's it. Let's try again. Far too airy for a mouth to lung. There's no way you can do a mouth to lung on that one. It's too airy, even for me. I suppose you can block one of the holes. Let's see. No, not really. Doesn't make much difference at 40 watts. I mean, no, I wouldn't entertain that one at all. So I'm afraid this one gets a thumbs down, big time. Looks wise as well. Okay, this is a green one. Not many people like the green, but I do like green. But nevertheless, still. The Voopoo, they all come with the same frame, the sort of a gunmetal, and because obviously, the screen is the same. At the back you got the Voopoo there, that's a part of the frame as well, and you got a bit of decoration there. There's a variety of colors, for them. So, yeah, look at the crackle on that one. There. It's got a nice little crackle on it. This one at 40, that should actually, make so much noise. Hardly at 40 watts. No, thank you. What else? What else is there? As I said, the car comes with a variety of coils, but the Smok, it is a bit confusing. You have to buy Nord coils, Nord tanks, Nord this, Nord that. Then you got the RPM. You got a host of them as well. Another one. It's too confusing, for people. And in the end of the day, they are still direct lung. There's no way you can do math to lung on these ones. Absolutely no way. So I don't know why they cater for all these things. 1.4 ceramic, or 1.2 ceramic, 1.4 quartz. All these things, they still don't do it. Come on, Smok, do us something, decent for crying out loud. I mean, they're good manufacturers, but with those two, that and the fetch one is is completely botched up, or not really botched up, but it's probably aimed at the direct lung people. So the winner is I'm afraid I'm quite pleased to say it's the Voopoo Vinci. Really nice one. I'd certainly recommend that one. They both have the usual micro USB in the back of them. The one last thing, the mouthpiece, just show you the mouthpiece, I don't know, it's they look very much the same, but the Voopoo looks tends to be easier or better actually to use, but that's a personal preference. I mean, some people will love that one, I don't, so others would like that one. People are very different in that sense. My son, for argument's sake, he doesn't like the mouth tip of either of them. So, but my good friend, Benjamin from Notting Hill Vape, I mean, he's a good friend of mine for a good few years ago. He loves the, both of them. Maybe more swayed to the Voopoo, but yeah. So that's the that's the comparison. Any questions, please fire away, and let us let me know. What do you think? What's your preference? Let me know. It would be interesting, to see if you have any different opinions. If you try them, if you like them, if you don't like them, try different coils. It's all these things. It all helps. And it all helps also in the comments. For other people to see and to make up their own minds. So yeah. Have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and please subscribe to the channel. It all helps. As you know, as I said before, I buy the stuff and I review it. So I'm totally unbiased, and to anyone. So these are my personal opinions. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.